Welcome to Tech Notice. Are you struggling to film on a daylight situation where your camera monitor just isn't bright enough to actually see what you're filming? Well, here comes this Andycine C7 on-camera monitor that has a whopping 2200 nits brightness. This over here is 1% and this now is 100%, and it only costs £270 or dollars. It can't get much better than that, but let's talk more about it. Now please do let me know, how does the autofocus work at the moment, because I've had some autofocus issues and I'm trying so many different settings. So here's another setting I'm trying out, so please do comment below what you think of the autofocus, or if you have any tips for me from my A7S II on autofocus, then please do let me know, because I know it's a bit of an issue here. So some of the main specs over here, this is a 7-inch screen over here, full HD screen, 2200 nits brightness, and that is the main selling point for this monitor. It also has a touchscreen, which is very helpful if you want to check focus over here. So for example, if you want to do that, you see zoom in, zoom out. Am I in focus? I know it's a bit trippy over here because this on this monitor is the main camera monitor and I'm running the feed onto this monitor to show you some of the things. So let me talk about what this monitor can do and some of the things that you might be interested in. First of all, let me show you the in and outputs over here. There is an HDMI input over here. As you can see, my HDMI runs in there. There's also a feed through HDMI out, as well as DC in 12 volt and a DC out for 8.4 volts. So if you want to power your camera like on these Andycine dummy batteries, you can do that as well by doing that. So you don't need any extra power banks or anything. You can just run your camera on this. This is a Sony NP-F50 battery, but there's other options available depending on your camera. So I'll leave some links in the description. As you can see, this looks like an SDI output or input over here, but they have blocked it off. So I think this monitor has a capability also, or some other versions of SDI over here, but on this version it is blocked off. On the side over here we have a 1/4 inch thread that also has this handlebar attached to it. It has like these two kind of locking mechanisms as well, as you can see on the other side, so your handle doesn't move anywhere. This is an SD card slot where you can put your own LUTs on an SD card, drop it in there, and then just load your own LUTs on there and then use them on the monitor. On top of the monitor we have a menu button, which I like a lot because it's also scroll and a push button. So if you push it down, it's like a select or click, whatever. You have 3 quick function keys over here, so you can map your favorite assist functions onto these 1, 2, 3. As you can see, this random thing in the middle over there, I am not sure what this is, but I reckon this is a light sensor sensing the brightness of this, which doesn't work very well, so you can completely forget about it. On this side we have a touch and power on button over here. So if you hold down, it's a power on and power off, but if you touch it once or twice, you can just kind of switch off the touch capabilities of the screen. So accidentally, if you touch the screen, it's not switching anywhere else. And you have a headphone jack over here if you want to monitor your audio, but I don't think that is a very good option because there is a lag between the HDMI and on your camera, like most of the monitors over here. So I wouldn't use this to monitor your audio. If you are like somewhere on the side and you're not seeing what you're actually filming and looking at the talent and monitoring the audio, then this might work. But on a situation like this, it's not very good. I've tried it and it was really annoying. So if you didn't know what's the internals like, then you're probably familiar with this internals or the OS of the monitor, if you say so, if you know one of these Andycine A6 or A6 Plus monitors, because this is exactly the same internals as one of these monitors. It's just bigger and extra bright monitor, so I'm not going to go too much into that. If you want to watch my full review, then check out my full review on this monitor and like the updates, and because they updated that one, so there's loads more features that are already in this one, so check that out. And also this one is a little bit cheaper, and if you want a smaller, more compact monitor, then I'll leave this in the description as well if you want to check that out. In the studio I have been using this monitor on 1% brightness because it is way too bright. So I've often like just underexposed my footage because I've accidentally had it too bright, and I'm like, whoa, that is way too bright. Let's turn it down. So In the studio here in this scenario, I'm just using this on 1%. One issue that I have come across is, which is very easily fixable, is that if you purchase the monitor and straight away out of the factory, the monitor comes with auto brightness turned on, which is really annoying, which basically doesn't work. It always has the brightness on 100%. Even if you turn it down to 1%, it just doesn't work. So you can easily go to the settings and change that. Now, I like that this monitor also has a touch function, because one of the main things that you want to adjust on your monitor is the monitor brightness, which is very easy to do on this monitor. So on the left side of the monitor, when you swipe up or down, you can just easily change the backlight percentage or the brightness of the monitor, which is so quick and easy to adjust. And then boom, you lock it with the touch button, and now you can't do that anymore. Unlock it and then adjust your brightness as well. Again, very, very helpful. On the other side, on the right side, you have a volume. So if you're using your headphones, for example, and you can't hear your talent or whatever, you want to adjust the volume very quickly, you can do that on the right side of the monitor, which is fantastic. I think one of the most awesome things about this monitor also is the LUT capability. There's already some LUTs baked into this system over here that you can use. As you can see, with the touch of a button, I can switch the LUT on, and now I can see this. So this is converted from S-Log to like Rec 709 or something like that. At the moment, I'm recording obviously at S-Log. As you can see, LUT off, that is S-Log, and then boom, you have your LUTs over there. In terms of monitoring assist features, as you can see on the screen, these are all the options that are in there. I don't know if you need anything more really. I'm very, very happy with everything that's inside. So it gives you a lot of things for your money. Another very helpful thing I can see in the back over here are the battery options. So there's 2 batteries in the back, and they are hot swappable, which means that if one of them dies or whatever, you can just pull it out and then use the other battery, or put one to charge and then put a new one in, and then take this one out. And they both have like a locking mechanism over here as well, which, you know, your batteries won't fall out. And as you can see, my monitor is still on. On the monitor arm on the side over here, there's also another cold shoe mount. So if you use the one on top of your mirrorless camera or on your camera and you lose that one, then you're going to get another one, so you can still use like a microphone or your, you know, wireless system or whatever you want to use. Then you can still use it on the side over here. In terms of the monitor arm's movement, it basically is that you lock it in and then you just kind of with force twist it around, because the clutch, how it works over here, there's like just 2 plastic washers over here that just kind of move and slide, and then you can move the monitor arm, and it can be put on the left side or the right side, whichever one is more convenient for you. So generally, I am very happy with this monitor, especially shooting with outside in the sunlight. It is very bright and you can definitely see what you're doing. Now let's talk about some of the downsides of things you should know. One of the things that I've noticed is that this monitor gets extremely hot and likes to eat through your batteries, especially when you're on higher percentage. Now in the studio, I'm actually using this monitor plugged in power. So I'm just running a TC 12 volt inside there and just using it on top of the camera, because it's a nice 7-inch. I can see easily if the focus is hunting or whatever. So as you can see, it's still some issues. I think it's not quite smooth, and believe it or not, this focus settings are all on the lowest setting. So that's that. Maybe I have to go to manual focus, but I think there's some issues here. I don't know why. Another thing about this monitor is it's quite large, but you know, what do you expect from a 7-inch monitor? It is supposed to be large, but there's quite big bezels that could be, you know, designed down and made it slightly smaller and less bezel, less screen. But in terms of holding the monitor and moving it around, it's nice to have like a space to hold onto the monitor on both sides and up and down, so that you're not actually touching the screen or accidentally adjusting your brightness and moving the monitor up or down or whatever like that. In terms of the image quality and whatever is on the screen, it's very nice as well. So now, should you buy this or should you not buy this? In my experience, it is a very good monitor. All the options it gives you, all the assist features, the image quality, the usability, changing the settings, I like them a lot. The only thing that maybe I would like is an auto flip function. So if I want to flip the monitor one way or the other way, that there will be a gyroscope inside to know whether I flip the screen and automatically flip it. You can do it manually, but you know, that kind of defeats the purpose of making it really fast. So I wish that was in there. In terms of for the price, what you pay for it, I don't think there's nothing much else out there. Now you're probably saying, hey, there's this Feelworld monitor that looks exactly the same for the same price. And yes, there is a Feelworld monitor out there available. This is Andycine 4K or Andycine monitor, and and there's a Feelworld monitor, but they are literally the same monitor. I think they come from the same factory, but they just slap different branding on the monitors and then send them out and sell them under different brands, but they're essentially the same. So if you want to get a good deal, then it's worth checking out both the links in the description and then seeing which one is cheaper and just going with that one, because there is no difference, if you know what I mean. But for that price point as well, looking at some other competitors, you're not getting that bright of a monitor for that much. You have to spend probably double or even more of this price to get something with that nits. So one last thing you should know is there's no shade or sunshade that comes with the monitor. So if you want to get that one of these, there is none available for this monitor. But they probably thought, you know what, 2200 nits brightness, you can do it in the sunlight, doesn't matter. But it is quite a reflective screen. As you can see over here, you can easily see my key light reflecting over there, which is not the best, but no sun shade. So guys, that's it from me. I think it's a great monitor. It's got very little downsides. So if you want to get this, the link for this is in the description. So comment below if this is something that you are interested in. So I'm not sure if there's anyone who needs a 7-inch so bright monitor. Let me know if you are one of those people. I'd love to know from you. I'll meet you in the comment section below. Like this video if you found it helpful, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks guys for watching. See you soon.